Welcome back, everybody, to another episode here at Just Dolan. Last time, we started our day and got to the schoolroom. And that's pretty much it. Today, I'm going to be trying to make a shit ton of progress by reading things a little bit faster, maybe being a little teensy bit less snarky for a little bit. So let's just jump right in because I'm already wasting time. This free study period was a convenient time to consider where I stood. I gently closed my eyes and pondered the ridiculous position I was in right now. First of all, what I shouldn't forget was how dangerous of a situation I was in. I had fallen out of favor with them. After interacting with Oishi-san multiple times, I could see it as I was getting closer to the heart of the matter. The warning yesterday with the mochi was a good indicator of that. No, calling it a warning was just my habit of understanding things. It probably had no meaning beyond stunting my progress and buying themselves some time. Until they had a method of completely erasing me, they were just biding their time. I mean, sure they do. They could have just used, poison. Alright, I'm already being snarky. Even though they were keeping me under their thumb with threats, it didn't change the fact that I knew too much. The chilling sensation on my desk made me recall Satoshi Hojo, the boy who was using this seat until last year when he disappeared. Was he also similar to me? Did he learn something he shouldn't have and was erased? Damn. I wouldn't let them get rid of me so easily. Never! But were they really trying to kill me? I've had these contradictory feelings for a while now. Yeah, we know. Even though I suspected them, I felt I had to cover for them. Even having witnessed all of their suspicious behavior, a morning like this just made it all seem like an elaborate hoax. No, that's just what I want to believe. Doubting my friends, covering for them. My life was in danger, or was it? Actually, I was debating the wrong point. Given my current situation, those points were something that should have been deliberated on long ago. But really, Rena and the rest of them, they were actually aiming to kill me. A little voice inside me continued to torment me with these unresolvable trains of thought. Are you an idiot, Keiji Maibara? The answer should be obvious. But maybe that sewing needle might have just been an accident, right? How could you screw up and drop a sewing needle into a piece of mochi? The benefit of the doubt can only go so far. Both Rena and Mion had acted and behaved suspiciously. Maybe it was all some sort of misunderstanding. What kind of misunderstanding? It wasn't just suspicious, it was outright ludicrous, right? Rena just corrected me for lying, and Mion only asked me about what I had for lunch. Rena was standing outside my door Rena was standing outside my door eavesdropping for a solid hour. She was. Probably just waiting for my phone call to end. For a whole hour inside your room? And is it normal to go home afterwards without saying anything? You heard from Oishi-san, didn't you? About what she did at her last school? But at the hospital she said it was Oyashiro-sama's fault. Cut it out, Keiji Maibara. Don't you realize they're out to kill you? I read that as, Nani? I inadvertently blurted those words out loud. Oh shit. Hearing myself say that so directly left me dumbfounded for a few moments. Afterwards, I had to look around and check if anyone else had heard it. My little soliloquy cut a little too close to the truth. Even though I could feel the murderous intent from Ren and the others, part of me somewhere was still trying to deny that. This late in the game, such hesitation could be fatal, I knew that. But I was just your average student, a man living his normal, ordinary life. How do you think I could suddenly believe that my friends, who I had been happily laughing together with up until last Sunday, now intended to kill me? Right? You're too soft, Keiji. This time I remembered to keep my voice down so only I could hear it. How about next time you remember to keep your fucking mouth shut so that nobody can hear it? Dumbass. There was one thing I now understood. I was too soft. I didn't completely understand how dangerous Ren and the rest of them were. No, I wasn't trying to understand. I was too soft for not listening to Oishi-san when he earnestly showed me the heart of the matter. I didn't listen because I was too busy pretending to be dejected. I didn't comprehend it. I was just running away. Yeah, exactly. I've literally been trying to get that point across this whole time. God damn it, Keiichi. I hate it with so much when characters just like shove their problems away. It doesn't make any sense to me. I'm not the type of person who ever does that. I'm going off on a rant. Every time I'm confronted with an issue, I just tackle it. That's why I can't relate in situations like this. I just can't. I don't know. I know that I'm gonna relate to Keiichi at the end of this arc because I remember it from the anime now. Not sure if that's a good thing, but I didn't comprehend it, so nobody had any notion to try and kill me. I needed to get rid of such naive thoughts. As I made that resolution, I heard the bell signaling the end of class. End of class. So soon. The day was already over. I didn't recall eating lunch or doing anything in class. My friends were putting their desks together in preparation for club activities. Not long ago, I would probably have happily jumped into that circle. My, Keiichi-san. How rude of you to even think about leaving. The way Satoko spoke was so typical and familiar, it almost physically hurt. Huh? Keiichi-kun, is today not a good day, I wonder? And we were going to win big together. Seeing Rena's expression, which said she was really looking forward to today, was hard to take. Hey Keiichi, maybe Oishi-san is just some enormous jerk trying to separate me from the others by lying to me. Slap. Trying to expunge such weak-minded thinking, I slapped myself in the face. Keiichi-kun? Yeah, was Rena really trying to kill me? I wish someone would tell me it was a hoax. Hey Keiichi, it's not a hoax. I didn't care if it was actually one or not. I just wanted someone to say it was. Keiichi, it's not a hoax. They're going to kill you. Kill them back. Do it. I remember everything about the end of this arc already. It all came back to me like at the end of last episode. God, yet another weak-willed thought. How did I ever become this naive? Are you alright? Does your head hurt? Apparently that was how my inner dilemma appeared to Rena. You're pale. Can you make it home by yourself? Maybe I should accompany you home, I wonder. No, it's okay. Sorry. I could get home by myself. Just have the meeting without me. Upon hearing that I wasn't going to participate in the club meeting, Mion pouted unhappily. Since Kei-chan was so bent on a revenge match, we were even going to play that deduction game again. Keiichi-san doesn't have the burning desire for a rematch? How pathetic. I wouldn't fall for some dumb taunt. Without a real effort, I just grabbed my bag and was about to get up. Someone's hand perched itself gently on my head. Keiichi doesn't seem to be well. How very unfortunate. It was Rika-chan. She was stretched up as far as she could, doing her best to pat my head with her petite hand. It felt so nice, which made things even harder. Sorry, everybody. See ya. That's all I said as I quickly left the classroom. It said something to me as I was leaving, but I couldn't make it out. I managed to make it all the way to the entrance in that state of mind. Took out my shoes. Oh yeah, we're in Japan. Put them on. Forward. Hard in that heart, Keiichi Maebara. They were for some unfathomable reason trying to kill me. They were plotting something dubious, watching my every move. Exactly, kill them first. Evil voice in your head. But I couldn't hate them. Yes, you can. Fucking kill them. Because weren't they my friends? Part of me lamented my naivety, while another part lamented the fact that I had lost something important by lamenting over it in the first place. 3 laments don't make a right, Keiichi. It felt like my personality was being ripped in two along with my body. If this is what Oyashiro-sama's curse was like, then it was just too harsh. Hey, Oyashiro-sama. I was wrong for not believing in your curse, but I believed in it now. Completely. The curse does exist, so seriously, give me a break. I beg you, come on. I was like, why are we looking outside of his house right now? I guess it was just for the sake of wordlessly telling us the time. Dinner was unusually bland. I love dinner that tastes like nothing. It had no flavor or aroma. The miso soup that normally tantalized my appetite instead tasted like nothing but boiled water. That reminds me of that scene. I already compared Keiichi to. I compared him that one time when he was being like a sarcastic dick to like Satsuko or something to Kazuma from Konosuba. But now I'm just thinking of Keiichi eating that miso soup and being like, this is just what? This is just boiled water. Keiichi's mom just being like, yeah. And I'm just being like, you must have purified it. Dad was eating with us that night. It was a rare occurrence in this household. When he got into his work, he ate and slept on his own schedule. My dad never cared about the time. Since my dad was at the dinner table, it either meant he had just reached a good point to take a break or that he was in a slump. So yeah, he just doesn't understand the motivation creators have. Your partnership was just a verbal agreement, wasn't it? If it's so hard to agree on things, why not just end it? I feel like it's an industry with a lot of back scratching, but when it gets in the way of business. I wasn't able to pick out much of my mom and dad's conversation, but I could tell it wasn't a very pleasant topic. That, of course, made the disgusting food even less appealing. Staring listlessly at the exchange between my parents, my mind wandered off to the same thought processes I had going all day long. Friends close to me, no. They used to be friends, but I can no longer trust them. Right now I was greatly lacking in allies. I don't know, Rika didn't do anything. Rika's like, best girl 15 out of 1. People I trusted. People I could depend on when push came to shove. There was something I just didn't have. Having just one ally would have been incredibly reassuring in the currently hopeless situation that I was in. I put down my chopsticks and looked over at my parents, who were still talking about work. The first course of action that came into mind was to tell them everything. Currently, there wasn't a single person from Hinamizawa that I could trust 100%. Nah, dude, you could trust Rika like 200%. That meant the only people I could trust were my parents. But if I told them everything that happened up until now, would they understand? Rena, for example, that neighborly Rena who was so diligent in looking after me, came to get me every day, sometimes brought over a share of what she made. How could I explain that she wanted to kill me? No matter how I explained it, it would probably be difficult for anybody to comprehend. My somewhat eccentric dad wouldn't understand, and my high-strung mom probably would drag me off to a psychiatrist in the blink of an eye. Sadly, that was the amount of trust that existed in our relationship. Even if they did come to understand, what could they possibly do? Unless they could uncover the truth, they wouldn't be able to protect me. No, by informing them of these unnecessary things, I'd be putting them in danger as well. Considering that the victims in past incidents were often married couples, I couldn't even joke about it. For the entire Maibara family to have an accident or just vanish into thin air, it was easily possible in Hinamizawa. What was important here was that knowing something unnecessary put you in danger. The most unsettling question was, how did they know that I knew? Maybe Colchester told them, since it's so fucking loud! As long as they didn't know, my parents might not fall victim. That was one way to think about it, I guess. At least, it was like that in my case. After I found out, things started becoming odd. In other words, it meant the following. As long as my parents didn't know anything, nothing would happen to them. Which means that this house would be a safe haven as long as my parents were in. I knew these were just assumptions based on conjecture on top of conjecture. Wanting this house to be a safe haven, that was the pinnacle of my week-old method of thinking. I had to concede that it was not completely safe. It was only safer than the outside. I knew I couldn't rely on my parents. No, I couldn't risk getting my parents involved. Then the only person who could be my ally would be Oishi-san. Him and him alone. He was the only person who understood the situation I was in. He didn't care so much about my safety, but he was without a doubt passionate about solving this case. It was a bit frustrating. Oishi-san was basically the whole reason I was in this mess. Now to get out of it, I had to rely on him. Meaning it was all going according to his devices. It was just my job to look appetizing while bobbing in the waves as bait. Then when the fish started gathering around, Oishi-san would pull up the big haul. It was slightly infuriating, but even I thought this was the best course of action. So then, what should I do? A piece of dandruff on my glasses. I couldn't fucking see. Patience was the first rule of fishing. Just keep waiting until the fish actually bites, but I wasn't simply bait. There were lots of ways for me to struggle before being devoured. When they struck, I needed to somehow dodge just enough and tag out to Oishi-san. No question, it was going to be hard. The timing to bring Oishi-san in would be difficult. He was in the city, not Hinamizawa, so if I phoned him in my moment of need, it'd take him about 30 minutes to reach me. So I needed to run away for those 30 minutes. For example, if we set up a rendezvous point for dire situations or something, I just have to hide out there until Oishi-san arrived. Okay, I can almost see it now. That's being chased around in the dark by boogeymen. But now I knew which way to go. I would never have imagined this would be so reassuring. Oh yeah, it would probably be best if I had a concealed weapon for when things got rough. Typically that kind of thing would call for a switchblade, but that wasn't too reassuring for combat. Says you! Says you! You could fucking kill anybody with a switchblade in like one stroke if you aim it perfectly and you know where you're fucking attacking. There's certain arteries and veins that you could just fucking end someone's life with one stroke of that blade. I understand that's not like doable in all melee situations, but it's still a fucking switchblade. Aim for the head or neck. Come on. Well, probably not the head. It would be really hard to pierce the skull with like a stab. But aim for the neck. Aim for the neck. Neck is like guaranteed victory. Also, since it was recognized as a weapon by the public, that wasn't good. Really, when the time comes, a long weapon like a bat would work in my favor. I remember there was a metal bat at school. I could be confident with that when push came to shove. If I pretended I was practicing my swing, then it wouldn't be suspicious for me to always carry it around. I could go to school early tomorrow and secure it. Just possessing a weapon may be enough to deter them. Also, one more thing. Insurance. It could be like something like a note or a memo. I could write down everything that's happened as some sort of journal. In case I suddenly vanished, the journal would be left behind. With my journal in his possession, Oishi-san would be able to avenge my death. I left my parents engrossed in the conversation about work and went back to my room after drinking their bowl of water. Their bowl of purified water. I tore out a piece of paper from a notebook and made my way to my desk. Last time I wrote a journal was for summer homework in elementary school. On the off chance something bad happened, the police could use my diary as a lead. So I should only write down the facts. The hard facts! How should I start? I jotted down my thoughts as they came. I, Keiichi Maebara, am in fear of my life. It made me laugh nervously. It was a line that showed up often in detective stories. I never even dreamed that I would be in this type of situation where I'd write it myself. I do not know why they are after my life. Ren and the others were suspicious, but I had no proof, and that's why I couldn't write anything more. Are you fucking... Keiichi. Ooh. Mildly triggered by that. I laughed wryly at myself for writing such a passage draped in mystery. Would the police be able to get the hint from reading this enigmatic passage? I could only pray that they would. What I prayed for the most, though, was that this journal never needed to play its part. Here I laughed nervously. It was too simple, so I wrote down one more line I just thought of. The only thing I do know is that it has to do with Oyashiro-sama's curse. Is that too much? So, alright. So let's recap for a second. I, Keiichi Maibara, am in fear of my life. Okay, solid. I do not know why they are after my life. Also solid. You know, that makes enough sense. He doesn't describe who they are in the follow-up, though, so already minus 50 points. And then the very next line is like, by the way, I'm pretty sure it's Oyashiro-sama's curse, haha, lol, kek. Minus another 50,000 points, because you can't be like, oh, I'm not going to write the people who I clearly suspect down in the book because I don't have proof. Even though I could explain that they put a needle in my mochi and stuff and throw them under suspicion so they get investigated because you're pretty sure it's them and they fucking deserve it for putting a needle in your mochi, even if it's not them trying to kill you. But then in the next passage be like, oh, I mean, I'm just going to talk about a curse because obviously curses are real, ha ha ha. Don't be like, I don't have proof for this, but I'm going to say this other thing that can't be proven. Oh my god. Triggered. I am triggered. That triggered me a little. I probably wouldn't write more than that. If I wrote any more, then it would seem like I was just delusional. In order to appear to the reader that the person who had written this was of a sound mind, I chose not to write anything else at that point. I just needed to add more as I learned more about the truth. I folded the paper and thought about a place to hide it. By hiding it somewhere obvious, there's a chance they would uncover it instead. On the other hand, if it was in too obscure of a location, then there was the risk of nobody finding it at all. In the end, I decided to take the clock off my wall and stick the folded note on the back of it with scotch tape. After that, I put the clock back into its normal position. Yeah, it didn't look like anything was hidden behind it. Now I needed to set it up such that if anything happens to me, my parents could find it. I looked at it from countless different angles until I was satisfied and made my way downstairs. My parents were still talking about work. It didn't look like it was going to end anytime soon, so I cut in. Sorry to interrupt. I have something I want to talk to you about. I never started off a conversation like that before, so my parents were both startled. They stopped talking and turned towards me. What is it, Keiichi? I have a favor to ask of you. Please listen. Just in case, yeah? If it's not urgent, can we do this later? Right now, Mommy and Daddy have something urgent they're talking about. I didn't think their talk was any more urgent than mine. In any case, I stated my request. Just in case, okay? If I die. Both of my parents' eyes went as wide as saucers. What a fucking idiot. If I die, I want you to put the clock on my wall in my coffin. If they did that, they'd probably find it. My memoir. Both my parents remained wide-eyed, not moving an inch. I couldn't blame them. I made that clock in shop class, and I really like it. So please. What's the matter, Keiichi? Did something happen? Mom was finally able to ask me with a questioning gaze. Of course, this was a normal response for when someone's son suddenly talked about a subject like this. I felt bad about making them worry, but right now I just wanted them to think about the clock in my room. Keiichi, you are aware... Alright, look. The reason this is such a dumb thing to say is because... Not because it's silly, it is, but because... because now they're gonna go look at the clock and they're gonna see the note on the back before you die. Like, that's... Oh my gosh. If I had a kid and they said that, I would examine the clock when they weren't home. I would, because I'd be like, that was so random, is something going on? I need to make sure they're okay. Like, why would you... Keiichi! Come on, dude. With the awkward mood leaving the room in silence, I decided to go back up to my room. I want to go to school early tomorrow, so I'm going to bed. Good night. Saying only that, I left the living room. I didn't even wait for a response. It's like, whatever. Peace. I need to get to school early tomorrow and secure that bat. I should make today the last day I went to school with Rena. As I climbed the stairs, I heard my mom call my name, but I pretended not to hear her. It wasn't something I could talk about with my parents. If I talked about it, it would only make things more dangerous. The fight that had begun was mine and mine alone. I couldn't rely on anybody. I wouldn't be killed. Not when I still knew nothing. Oh boy. If I die, bury me with my clock. Nobody says that. In that situation, I'm sorry, that is just not well thought through. That is definitely not well thought through. I'm gonna read this tip real quick. I think we probably have time. The last few tips we read were like 10 seconds long. Keiichi-kun's been feeling down lately. Maybe he's in a bad mood. I wonder. I wonder. Maybe he's on his period. Yeah, maybe he is on his period. Me-chan, that's gross. Is it though? Yeah. Yeah. What do you think? Dunno. Could be the Kei-chan, maybe. I don't know. That day Kei-chan was in that cot talking to some tubby middle-aged guy, right? Yeah, no mistake. That Oishi probably fed him something fishy. He looked serious. Keiichi-kun's face was so pale. You see, you might not know this, but he's actually the messenger of Oyashiro-sama. What? Huh? What do you mean? Whenever he shows up, someone's demoned away. No lie. Oh, is that so? The year before last, when Rika-chan's mom drowned, right? Right before that, she was visited by Oishi. Now that you mention it, he was around before Satoshi-kun transferred out too. Transferred? You're so sweet, Rena. So this time he's appeared before Keiichi-kun. So he's gonna be demoned away too? An empty silence hung in the air, and then it was suddenly interrupted by loud laughter. Kill them all. Kill them all, Keiji. Kill them all, my boy. Do it. Take that bat. Swing it into their head. Several dozen times. It's for your own good. What the fuck am I doing with my life? End of chapter 10. Wow, we've really had 10 chapters already? That's crazy. This game's gone by really fast. It's a good thing there's like 7 more because I really like this game. Well, story. Book. I really like this book. I'm really into this book that we're reading together. That's basically what's happening. I only get snarky and, like, critical of things that I like. If I don't like something, I just push it aside. So you guys could take that information and think what you will. I really like this. I'm having a good time. I just want to get to the juicy. I want to get to the meat and potatoes of this whole thing. If you know what I'm saying. Anyway. I'm glad we made decent progress this episode. Next episode, though, I think we're gonna make. I think next episode is the meat and potatoes, so that's pretty neat. And I'll see you guys then. Have a good rest of your night. I love y'all, and that's it, I guess. I don't know why I'm rambling. Ciao.